Good morning, guys. Welcome again. And our topic was running on pneumatic PD controller. Okay, so let's draw again. Uh, let's draw again. So whenever say this is just you have just blocked this nozzle by this flapper, and till now your derivative action is not working. You just let it free so that air can enter into this way. Okay, so what happens? Input is going to here, and whenever it will getting some obstacle, then it will reflect. Then it is the back pressure is coming. Back pressure is not going to this side because this pressure is much higher than this P2. Okay, so then it will come to this relay. But whenever this relay will getting some back pressure, then it will just open this channel. Okay, because say if this is the relay, then it will due to this pressure, it will just open this area. Okay, and at at that moment some pressure is try to coming over here, and it is entering to this below, as well as it will create pressure on this valve. Whenever this valve is going to operate, you can say you want to you want to 70% open. 70% open, say this is 100% air is coming, but here you are getting 70%. So that's why you want to just push this here also, and meter is also there. There is psi is there. Here also another meter is also there. So whatever is your input, that is your input, it should be output will be 70%. You just try to adjust over there. First time you just close this, then what happens? First time it was 100%, then it was going to low. Again you just open this so that it is going to here. So if there is a 70%, and then this is your 100%, and sometimes it is going to the lower because you just close this, then and then you again open this, so it will going in this way. Okay, it is oscillating, then it will reach this station stability point. But now you want to, whenever you reach this stability point, now you want to lock this or break this because you just maintain this 70%. But if it is your own hand control or own control, then it will not be static, because sometimes it is just going to here, sometimes just push here, so it will be just oscillating. So, and some back pressure also is there. so it will oscillating. But then and then you want to use this derivative action. Then derivative action will you just lock this position. In previous section you have seen some air are entered into this bellows. So whenever bellows are entering, then it will expand just like your balloon on, because whenever this balloon is here, you are pushing, you are inducing some air is there. Say this, it was its initial level, and you are pushing one by one some 10 psi, not 10 psi, uh, this is very high, say 1 psi pressure you are putting. After some time it will expand over here. Now you lock this position, you just cut this pressure source, and you just lock this balloon. Then what happens? It will just going to the static position. It will not expand, not squeeze if there is no leaks is there. And if someone if you push this balloon on over there, if you it will dip, but after some times again it will occupy its own position. Okay, so just below is just like a balloon, but it is made of metal. This metal is generally bronze, chromium bronze, and sometimes it is made of steel. But this plate below looks like this, just like कुछ round shape, this round shaped corrugated steel is here. This is one chamber. If you push, if you enter some fluid, then it will enter, then it will expand just like this. Okay, so this is the expand, and whenever you just release all this air, then again it will occupy its own position. So it will just working as a spring, but it is a pneumatic spring. Okay, so whenever you allow entering some fluid, in this air fluid is your air pressure. Okay, or some gaseous form. So, and entering some fluid, it will expand, and at that moment you lock this derivative valve. Okay, so whenever it is locked, it will going to the static position. It will reach the static position. You know, whenever this control rod is attached, so this control rod also come to the here. So it will push this treadle or this flapper, and it will getting some pressure over this side, it will getting some pressure over this side. So whenever it will get some pressure, it will just because here is some fulcrum area, so it will lock these things, it will just lock this thing. So no need to any human intervention or other intervention to change this, and it will still lock this position. So it will just lock at this 70% of this. But now if you want to release this, so you just release this, then some of this air will going to the outer side of this bellow, then bellow will going to squeeze after few amount, because some air was, say this below is at this point. So it will come to the this point, then it will some release of this point. So in this way some air will be again disappear, and it will go to the outside, and then it will also release this valve, so it will again open this 80%. In this way, if you control this derivative valve, then one by one some percentage of air are going to release. And when some percentage, say first time you open this for 10% release, again you apply some main open, so again 10% was released. So below is gradually really squeezed, and whenever it will going to occupy its own position, then it will just release this valve, this release this flapper. And whenever flapper is going to release, first time it will 10% release, second time again 10% release, so ultimately 20% it was releasing. So this pressure was again tried to release from this nozzle, and whenever the pressure was going to release, the pneumatic relay also getting loose pressure, it will also getting some loose pressure. So it is gradually want to close the air also here. So this pressure will again gradually going to release. So then it will going to open, and it will increase its value. So in this way, again, if you want to stop this, and after some time, if you again lock this, then it will going to the static position. So in this way, we going to achieve the static position or the breaking position at this moment. So this is the derivative action, and this is the gradual, this is the forward proportional action. So ultimately, this control action is implies you a P and D control action. Okay, so guys, uh, if you have any question, you may ask me. Otherwise, I will go for P and I control action. You have seen that this valve is working as a derivative valve. Okay, and this action is working as a proportional action. So we are going to the P and I control action. Now it is pneumatic P and I, pneumatic P and I controller. So the picture is just like same, but here
सर क्लास खत्म हो गया क्या?
नहीं और few minutes बाकी है. Okay, so here is your flapper. This is connected over here. Okay, you can see the changes. First of all, you can see when this valve is actually not working, if this valve is not actually working, what happens? First, it is open, and air are entering, and you just close these things. You just close this flapper and nozzle. Air are entering in this way, it is going to back, because you just close this flapper. So here some air are, due to this back pressure, some air are in try to entering. So this air also entering over here, this air also entering over in this way, this below, and in this side this is also entering in this below, and others air pressure are going to control these things. But this is not the final control, because whenever it is coming, first time you can see, whenever this air is coming, it will pressure over there, it will pressure over there. So whenever it will pressure, it will just going to here. Whenever this things going to this side, then your flapper automatically going to the release, because it is pushing. Then some air pressure was released again, due to this area, this pressure also entering, this pressure also entering. So whenever this below was going to full, then it will create the opposition force. So it will going to the equilibrium. Say, if you want to reach this position first time, and your due to this action, and it will just going to here. Again, due to normal action, it is going to here jerk. Again, this position was released. So whenever it was released, pressure was going to lose, then it will going to the lower side. Again, this below was oppose this, is to release this air pressure. So again it was increasing this position. So in this way it is going to doing this. But in this case, you don't apply freely. If this section, just understand the integral action. If this section was not there, say this section is not there, what happens? First time you just push your hand, and then, and this flapper just close this. No one will give you the back pressure, or no one will give you the opposition. So you just going to the directly try to pressure, it will go up to the 100%, up to the 90%, whatever you have pushed in this way. If this position was not there, but it is going in this way as per your hand, but now this position is going to attach, so it will, you push in this way, but this position will push in opposition way. So ultimately your output will not overshoot this there. It was gradually going to reach this position. So this is damped. If one damping is working, because this position is damped your, or damped your movement, so it will, you get some obstacle. So this thing is done by integral action. Integral will just damp your overshoot, so that it will reach, or it will lie in your set point level. Now once this is going on, so air is entering in this way, entering in this way, it will opposing by. But now you want to, this is the integral action, but it is going on because this pressure also release this thing. It will try to get a equilibrium condition, so that this integral action does not overly damped. So now you just put this action, this is the derivative action. Once your this area was occupied by your fluid, then it will going to expand, and this side is locked, and this side is your locked position. So it will just expand, but you lock this position. So what happens? Then your pressure became fixed. Your pressure became fixed. You don't, however you push this below, you don't overcome this position because it was fixed. So you have to give the much amount of fluid. But whenever this amount is not allow you to release this valve, so what happens? Air are directly entering in this way, and it will directly entering in this way to close this valve. And what happens? This became as a lock condition, because here some fixed position is there. So whenever it will reach the fixed position, then it will not move or not squeeze. So what happens? It will more pressure is required to overcome this position, but it will become a static position because this was locked, so it is not able to do this. So much amount of fluid again going to the back pressure or condition, and it will close these things. So it will reach a static position after doing this valve. So at that moment it will lock. Once again, if you don't apply this valve, then this position will oppose your this lever movement. So what happens? It will just damping this condition. So damping is coming from the integral action, and now you want to lock this position. So whenever you just lock this position, so what happens? The fluid enter into this below, say below 2. This is the second below, this is the first below. So whenever second below getting fixed, because air entered into this area, it was just locked and it was fixed. So it will not allow to move this lever, to going oscillate this side. So what happens? Then only your channel is free. This channel is free to come here and here. So what happens? Then this pressure is coming and it is going to back. This pressure is coming and going to back. It will again going to this side and this side also. So the how much amount of air is coming, then it will opposed by this fluid also, so here pressure will gradually increase, and this pressure, say if this pressure is P1 and this pressure is P2, first time P1 greater than P2, after some time P1 is slightly greater than P2, and after few moments it will P1 equal to P2. So no extra pressure will be coming, will allow to come here, and the so what happens when no pressure is coming? So it will going to a fixed pressure. So whenever a fixed pressure is applied to this valve, so it will also open. Say now it is 70% opening. So 70% becomes static. It will not change due to this time. So this is just like a braking, or you may say this is the holding. So I need to hold at the 70% position. In this way, this valve was holding the 70% or whatever our position. So guys, I think you can understand this thing, how this derivative and integral action is working. If you have any question, you may ask me. Uh, could you get this point? How derivative this portion is working? Once again, I am going to say this. Look, when this is below 1 and this is below 2. Whenever this below was locked by your this derivative valve. So what happens? Derivative valve, it will lock your position. You can't move this is below. You can't move this below. So this position also becomes static, but till it is in your hand, you can push here, but it will not acting anything over there. It will just try to fix this thing. But what happens? Though it is fixed, but upper pressure is coming to here, upper pressure is still coming here to lock to operate this valve. First time it was 100% open, 100% open. Second time it is giving much pressure, so 90% open. Second time again pressure is given 80% open. Then third time again pressure is applied for the 70% is open. Then you just lock this position. So whenever it will just reach this 70%, then you lock this position, it will going to fix. Now what happens? No air going to here. And you can see this first time I'm also air pressure are entering over this way. But now whenever you lock this position, it will fix, it will also not able to push here, or it will not able to expand because it was fixed also, because the opposite portion is this below 2 is acting, so it will just giving you the fixed pressure, so it will not going to the expand. So what happens in this channel? What are the air are entering? it will just gradually pressure are entering. That's why this is going to close, and that's why like gradual pressure are entering, but it will going to the block. So it will whenever a air is going to block, or air channel or fluid channel is going to block, then what it will do, it will just going to the create back pressure. It will again going to the back pressure. It will want to go to the back pressure, so that the source line it want to occupy, but source line is pressure is high first time. So it will again it will going to oppose this position. So first time your pressure was, say in this area your pressure was P1, and in this area your pressure is P2. First time your bellow was allowed to expand, so pressure was going to given here, so pressure was very very low. But whenever back pressure start creating, then it was going to here. So first P1 is there. Say P1 was P1 was as 80%, and it was 10%. After then P1 again, because this is the fixed coming, so it was always 80%. But this P2 was going to increase because back pressure is try to acting over there. It was 20%, it was 30%. Then after some times it became 80% because this was static. Then no pressure, extra pressure was coming because you lock this. So when you lock this when our this main valve open the 70%, you lock this. So whenever it's reached to the 70%, within few seconds it will reach to the 80% pressure. So this P1 and this P2 became same. So no extra pressure was coming, no extra pressure was coming. So this pressure was static over here. But due to working this 70%, because it is also working on the 70%, so it will again slightly closed because few few percent was pressure was acting on also. So it will reach not exactly 70%, maybe 69%, or maybe 71% in this way. So derivative action, though we apply at the stability point, because this pressure whenever also going to 80%, or this pressure also going to overact on this, so some pressure will deflect it. Means this pressure was somehow dissolved, somehow it is overacting on this valve. So this valve was not exactly static at the 70%, maybe 0.1%, or maybe 1% maybe reduced or released. So it that's why derivative action is not at reach at the stability point. It is few percent, very very less percent, it will deflect it, because either maybe going to the upper side, either maybe the lower side, because this pressure also working on this now. So it will working on the 69% or 71% or 70.05% or 69.999%. In this way it was locked at, or it may hold at this position. So this is the P, I and D. So P action is just try to oscillate, I action just want to damp so that your system lie near to the stability point, and your derivative action will act as to hold any point. Means it may be at the stability point, maybe 0.1% in upper, maybe 0.1% lower to the stability point. In this way pneumatic action is working. And pneumatic, this is pneumatic Pi, and also derivative also I told here. So you may apply this PID also. If if this portion was not there, this portion was not there, then only P and I action was there. But whenever you apply Pi and D, because this is the derivative valve, it will lock this position. So you are working on the Pi and D controller also. This is PID controller. And if you don't allow this, then P and I control action is there. And if you apply this valve, derivative valve, then it will going to the PID control action. So this is all about PID and PI. So guys, if you have any question, you may ask me. Otherwise, I just dissolve this meeting, because next class, I think next class has started. Have you any question? Okay, thank you. I stop here.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Have a nice day.